Hello, friends and good company. How are you guys doing today?
Hello there.
Howdy.
Good.
I'm X-Wing, hosting here for Burke, Nick Holness, Mr. Rissman. We're here to do a Chimera chat today. I thought it might be fun if we started doing dedicated Squadron streams. And of course, the first Squadron I would have to pick would be the Chimera because they're some of the saltiest, hardest, most lovable alcoholics in the community. I just adore these people. What do we kick it off? So, hey, open forum, man. Anything you guys want to talk about? Where do we want to start? Do you want to start on Boba?
Yeah, let's get Boba out of the way.
You want to get Barbary out the way? Okay.
Unless we want to wait for Nicky, it's up to you on that.
Oh, we should probably wait for Nicky for Boba. We can. Why don't you show me that collectible you were showing me?
Oh, okay.
Just a moment ago.
So the Coaxium one.
Yeah.
This one, yeah. So I got this off Etsy. It's a metal replica of the vial that you see in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So it's got the hyperspace fuel like etched into the glass there, and it all lights up.
Sick.
And you can choose if you want like a white light or a blue light, because depending on how you see it in the film, it looks blue, and then sometimes it looks white. So it's up to you how you decide on which one you want.
Do they ship it with an explosive label or no?
No, they ship it with a battery label. And as this is made in America, I had to pay £40 customs charge just to get this at my front door.
Don't worry, Ronnie. She's coming. She's coming.
So yeah, that was fun. Also got a restraining bolt. That
all those pesky droids.
Yeah, for the pesky droids.
Now, do you use that mainly in the bedroom, or?
Yeah.
Taking a cue from Lando?
Yeah. I'm so into droids and what they do, in the bedroom.
That thing sounded like it was heavy. Is that like a milled steel or milled?
Yeah, it's milled, and it's got a magnet on the back as well.
Oh,
so
that's
you can actually
cool.
attach it. So yeah, let me do it that way. Keep forgetting where the camera is. And then I also got some replica credits as well.
Was that an Etsy buy?
Another Etsy buy from Hyperspace Props.
Are those metal?
Yeah, they're metal.
Wow. Okay. Pretty weighty, yeah.
They're not too bad. Quite big though, surprisingly. I mean, these are based off of what you see in Clone Wars. Because the credits are only mostly seen in the animated shows than they are in live action.
Have you bought any of the credit collection figures?
No.
I'm wondering what they look like compared to the credit collection figure credits. You know what I mean? Because I know those are plastic for sure.
They're probably taken the mold for some of them, because you can buy depending, because these are Republic credits that I've got. I haven't got Imperial credits. So you can also some people have made calamari flung as well, but I didn't really want to get those because they're made out of plastic, and I'm not a big fan of as a replica thing to put in the cabinet. Plastic's a bit iffy. Just depends.
Those credits don't exist. I need something more real.
Yeah. Also got a piece of the Lars homestead, thanks to Mr. X-Wing here for leading me to Movie Reliquary. I own 13 pieces from them now. That's not my favorite. My favorite is my 13. Yeah.
Wow.
My favorite piece is the Alien 3 costume.
One of the xenomorphs?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
And I know Alien 3 is quite a decisive movie. Some people love it, some people hate it. There's a lot of history behind the backstory of that film. So I just think it's so cool to have a piece of that xenomorph. He's also got a piece of Alien Resurrection xenomorph, but I hate Resurrection so much that I'm not going to touch it.
Right.
I think Resurrection is a god-awful film. I mean, even Matrix Resurrection is a god-awful movie. So anything with Resurrection in it, I try and stay away from.
That would be like me buying a piece of Rey's cloak at the end of Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
The only resurrection we trust is Darth Maul's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
The only piece in my cabinet that I've got from the sequel trilogy is Luke's pendant that you see in Last Jedi hanging up in his hut, and it's like a broken piece of a Sith kyber crystal.
Yeah.
And in Legends, the Jedi Crusaders were Revan Knights. So that's why I like that little connection. So it's the only sequel piece I have in the whole collection because I think that prop is pretty neat.
I think I have somewhere one of the Walgreens Captain Phasmas because, like, I think a couple years ago, like, somebody that knew me put it in, like, a stocking stuffer or something like that, and it's just, like, conveniently shoved under a... Yeah. Just in case they make, like, a super awesome Phasma anthology movie or something, I can be like, hey, well, I have one of the originals. Okay.
Well, it's like they've got a piece of the artificial tree on Movie Reliquary from the lightsaber on Starkiller Base. And
oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, do I get it? Do I not? I don't like Force Awakens, so I don't really want to touch.
Have you been checking out the 50th anniversary figures from Black Series?
Yes. Give me a second.
So I got Luke. Yeah. The Luke with the Ysilmari, but the Darth Maul. I didn't even know that they did a bunch of these different kind of like book collectible ones. They have this one, Karner Jax, Luke Skywalker, and oh my God, why can't I remember the name of the bunny right now?
Oh,
isn't it
Jax? Oh, Jax.
Karner Jax, and then they have Jax as well. But the Darth Maul is absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I've only got the Luke, and then I've just
got the Maul.
Maul's awesome. I got the Maul at the mall. Oh man, look at you go.
No, no. And my Cad Bane's on the desk.
Why do you keep them in a bin?
Because I don't want to ruin the boxes. They're all sealed.
Look who it is. Hello, my lovely.
Hi,
hello
there.
Oh, hello.
Hello. How is everyone on this wonderful day in the Empire?
Oh, beautiful.
Ew.
The Empire is strong.
How did you do that?
Yes, good. Because I am that good.
You know what that means.
Uh-oh.
Kill the younglings.
Thank you.
Thank you, Darth Arlena.
Children are now dead.
That helps because I found Star Wars Casual told me about a Star Wars store at the Vancouver Mall today, and I had 8 minutes because I was on my lunch. And it was just like, you know those TV shows where it's like, throw everything in the carton you can in 30 seconds. Whoa! And I was just running through, and I was picking stuff and putting stuff down. I was picking stuff up, and I picked up a 3.75 collection of all the Republic Commandos. So it had Boss and Scorch and everybody on them. And I brought it up to the counter. I threw everything down. I'm like, I gotta go, because my apprentice was in the work van. And he rings up the set of the 3.75 Commandos, and it was $350.
Oh,
and I'm like,
oh wow!
Go ahead and just put that one back up on the shelf.
Oh, you're gonna pick up the. I think it's Scorch. Is it Scorch they're doing? I can't. I know they're doing a Republic Commando for the gaming greats.
It's Boss.
Boss, yeah.
Yeah,
I've got
Boss.
that pre-ordered.
Through, yeah, that's coming from
Planet
GameStop.
Hollywood. Yeah.
In the 6-inch.
I wish they would do a Scorch. That would be awesome.
It makes more sense, right? Because he was in Bad Batch.
He was in Bad Batch, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing with the gaming greats, they've been so weird on their choices of the action figures. Like they've done the Wookiee from Knights of the Old Republic, and then they've got the Umbaran ARC Trooper from Battlefront 2, and it's just a bit like, what? That's very obscure.
That was a skin for an ARC Trooper that like nobody had. I don't know.
Well, they could have made it 5.
I mean, I've got all the original gaming greats like Jango Fett's from Bounty Hunter game, Jedi Knight Revan, and Darth Nihilus, and they're really awesome figures.
These were the two I picked up from the GameStop here because they were $12 a piece. Rocket Trooper and Flame Trooper.
Yeah, they're nice.
Nice
picks. But yeah, the Django from the Bounty Hunter game pulled me back £80, brand new, sealed in the box. It was the only one I had missing out of the original 8.
Wow.
I was like, I have to get it.
Yeah, no doubt.
I originally ordered it off of Zavvi, which is another toy company we have in the UK. I mean, you guys have it as well.
I was just looking at them. They have the Gentle Giant mini busts, which apparently now I'm in love with.
Yeah, they're nice. They're really good company to go with if you want to buy collectibles and stuff. The only issue is that sometimes they pull pre-orders. Like you might have pre-ordered an item, then they'll say when it comes to the release date, sorry, this is out of stock, and we can't get hold of it.
It's the same thing GameStop.
What?
He's in hotel Wi-Fi. He's been having some internet freezes. It puts him in some interesting. Puts him in some interesting poses when it happens. So.
Thoughtful. Like,
at least he's
Sorry.
At least he's not shaking his ass at us when it freezes.
That's
Too
true.
too early for that. It's too early for that.
What? It's 10
it will
o'clock
be
here.
spotty. I apologize. I apologize for the spottiness. One more day, I'll be home.
Oh, thank goodness we can play Fortnite again.
Yeah.
But X-Wing, what got you into doing the 6-inch series? Because I know you were very like choosy with the figures that you were buying beforehand, or was it just that the Black Series really like pulled you in? Was it just like one figure you saw and you were like, oh, I've got to?
Yeah, it was the 3 points. I've been a 3.75 guy forever.
Mhm.
I love my 3.75s. I love card backs. They just look good on the wall. Oh, you thumbtack them up onto the wall, and you wind up with this like entire mural of just beauty.
Mm.
But what oh god, I think I'm gonna blank out again. If I do, I apologize. What I really love about the Black Series is I love the detail on the face sculpts because they're freaking gorgeous. So I love the detail on them. Soft goods are a lot more prominent on the Black Series, and I'm a big fan of soft goods on figures. And I think probably my favorite part is I can pull them out, F with them, get them in my hands, and then repack them.
Yep.
Mm.
Whereas on a
Yeah,
3.75, as soon as you cut that cardboard, you're done. That's it. You're out. It's out of the box. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, the first one for me was my Jedi Knight Revan, and I haven't taken it out of the box. I've kept it in the box and stuff, and that is to me one of my favorite action figures I've got.
Yeah, mine's in the box waiting for me at home.
It's not as good as my 1/6 scale figures that I've got in the cabinet, but it's still up there as such.
Is anybody else a nerd, or is it just me and Nick tonight?
Matt should talk about the Legos. Do you see he's got Boba Fett's starship in the back there? I can see.
Any new purchases,
Oh
Matt?
my gosh.
I did so they released some more hot sets, right? So you can never have too many.
For God's sake!
You can never. I know Nick loves it. You can never have too many hot sets, right? So this is the
that
first
looks
time
good.
they've done a Hoth ATST, and so it's I don't know if you can see the one that's behind me is a that one actually comes from Rogue One, but each ATST they've done is a little bit different. They've never done one.
Is that
quite
the
like
Scout ATST? The Scout one?
Yeah,
this is this is allegedly the one that you see depicted briefly in the Battle of Hoth.
It's the more sport version of the.
So it's actually a little bit taller also than the other ones they've done. So I got that one, and then they did some Imperial Trooper little battle packs or whatever. The January release wasn't a super big release, so just a bunch of little
What do you think that though, Matt? Do you think they're just holding out on after Book of Boba comes out, and then they'll release sets for that?
The next releases are going to be bigger as the year goes on. There's more helmets. I do think we'll get some Book of Boba sets. So that's not that there isn't anymore. I think after they just did the $800 AT-AT, and I mean they just did a fair number of sets. And the one that you've got obviously there, Moff Gideon's cruiser, and some of the rest of them, right? So it just wasn't a big January release for Lego Star Wars. So
no, are you going to get the Vespa if they do the Vespers as?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god!
The Power Ranger Battle Pack, they'll probably call it.
I do think we'll get a Jabba slash Boba Palace now, because they've been lacking that for a while. So I will get that. I don't have a.
Well, the reason they lacked on doing that was because of the religious aspect where they thought they was taking the mickey out of a mosque, so they had to remove it from store shelves. So
yeah. But now that we've gotten a Rancor and some of the rest of it, I'm hoping there'll be a Rancor pit and there'll be a Rancor, and then who knows what else. Apparently, there's some special things in store for us in the next 4 episodes.
As always,
No, I know we've heard it before, but I'm under a pretty good and reliable impression now that starting with the next episode, there are going to be some things in it that folks are really going to like, especially fans of the prequels. So I think
you're not talking about Jar Jar, are you?
I would never talk about Jar Jar or Watto for that matter.
Oh
but there's more things. There are more things coming. I think that folks are really going to enjoy. Plus, I think they actually fit into the story, which some people might laugh because the story's been a little all over the place.
Little disjointed. I can agree there.
I think starting with episode 4, they're going to bring it back together, right? And this is why I've personally formed the opinion. 2 opinions, right? Number 1, I think this would have benefited from a complete drop of the season all at once. But more than that, I think if they would have just told this story chronologically, starting with when he got out of the Sarlacc and just walking it forward, and perhaps maintaining the Camino flashbacks and some of the other things as actual flashbacks, and not have these diverging timelines, right? The past timeline.
3 minutes early on the Book of Boba Fett talk, Moff Rissman. 3 minutes early.
Well, by my clock, it's 10. When is she coming? It's 10:07 by my clock.
We're starting at 10:10.
Oh, 10:10.
Oh,
So back to Lego then. I will get a couple of the helmets, depending on which ones come out.
Are you going to get the brickheads, Ahsoka, or are you not going to?
I will get the Ahsoka brickhead. It looks like a good brickhead, and I will get they're doing a small clone pack, a forward command post clone pack, which I will do.
Well, is that the store exclude? Like when you go to Lego stores, the minifig.
It's the first time they've done mini packs.
Yeah.
And again, not to put additional fan on these flames, right? But there has been a rumor for some time that they have a set in the works that has Mace Windu in it.
Oh,
In one of the upcoming releases.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the ones, and even more
Mace
so,
lives, baby. Mace lives.
I think it's a Mace with one of the tanks that was seen in the prequels. And again, there's more rumors coming around now. Again, prequel era stuff, etc. So I'm starting to wonder if that rumor about the Mace Windu set is actually true. But there are several future Lego Star Wars sets that are unleaked as of right now because they have something to do with Book of Boba.
Well, look who decided to join. I don't believe it.
Who's here?
Sorry.
Hello, Nikki.
hello.
Guys.
Hello there.
At least we have some
Spanner, are you in
good
the Chimera?
feminine representation tonight.
That's right.
Is Hydro in the Chimera?
Hydro is not in the Chimera.
Sorry. No.
Get out of here. What are you doing? This is fun. Can you read the title? Nikki, you're super quiet.
I just got here. What the hell? Give me a
No,
chance.
we were talking
Your
about
audio
voice
is better
volume.
now. It's better.
It's good.
So if you can just chill a little. Okay.
I'm chill.
Come in
I'm
here.
chill.
Spit
I'm
all that
chill.
disrespect up in my face.
Okay.
You got one person happy to see you, at least.
In
Yay.
capital letters as well.
And she's actually 60 seconds early. So okay, I didn't even know that they had released an Ahsoka brickhead. When's that coming?
They delayed it. It was supposed to be so the Lego is
Lego
the way
is
they
number
are. So Lego had advertised the Ahsoka brickhead, there's a Rebel Hoth Trooper pack, and there's also the forward post clone pack. First time they've ever done minifigure packs, and the Ahsoka brickhead was a fan vote. They were all due to release on January the 1st. On January the 1st, Lego took off the January the 1st and said coming soon. When people drove to Lego stores and did things very specifically to get there to buy these. And I happened to go on January the 1st to buy what I bought. And I'm looking around, I'm like, where are the rest of these? And then I got online and there was a huge uproar. Lego just never said anything, and it still says coming soon.
Huge.
So I don't know when any of that stuff now is due to come out. But
probably when the Lego Star Wars game comes out. So
Yeah, maybe.
I hope not.
Oh.
I hope not.
okay, all right, it's time. We can
Is
crack
that
the.
game ever going to come out?
We'll see.
I hope so.
All right, let's crack the egg open. Book of Boba Fett. We've seen a lot of people streaming about it. We've seen a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people are pissed off about the Go-Go Power Rangers. We're hearing prequel fans are going to be happy when it comes to episodes 4 through 7. Let's go.
That's a big
it's-
undertaking.
Yeah.
That's a big undertaking. Like, I don't know. I'll let you go first, Nick. Go ahead. I can see you itching.
No, I think the series is. I believe from the rumors of what happens with Pedro. This series was just written to fill the gap for Mando season 3. It wasn't supposed to happen, and because of the Pedro thing, they went right. We need to release something next year. We've got Chimera Morrison. He's free. He's got nothing booked up. We can easily get Ming-Na Wen in as well. Let's make a show around them. We're going to keep it on Tatooine because then we can keep the budget down and we can share the sets between Kenobi and here. So that will, and then we also get Rodriguez in. Rodriguez will shoot it cheaply, and it will just keep the cost down and get the series pushed out. Because the script because you've got a Boba that is completely different to Mando season 2, even though John wrote that Boba, and he's writing this series as well. It's like, how do you get from that Boba from Mando season 2 to Book of Boba and have that quick change? I know people are saying he had like a change in the Sarlacc pit, but how can he? All he done was jump onto the desert skiff with Luke and get knocked in by Han Solo. Why does that change his mind to go, right now I'm going to change my life forever? It's just I find the writing of this series is not competent enough, and they're also just picking out from like Dances with Wolves, Dune, Lawrence of Arabia. They're just American Graffiti they've done now just to create the show. Like, oh, we're going to homage all these.
American Graffiti, shoehorn that in the Book of Boba.
Well, it's for the Vespers.
That's the excuse for it. It's like, guys, you just don't understand. It's inspiration from the George's works and all that shit. And I'm like, that's great. What does that have to do with this fucking episode? Like, I don't know.
It's like the trains come from Lawrence of Arabia as well in episode.
Who cares where they come from? What matters is if they fit or not. I don't give a shit where it comes from. Like that's the point. Like, I don't know. It's like I told Santa the other day. An argument can be made for those stupid ass bikes in Star Wars, but not on Tatooine and Boba. And like that wasn't even like one of my biggest like gripes with the episode. To me, that was just like a stupid ass choice. Everything else was just Boba's dumb. He's like Jon Snow season 8. Doesn't know what's going on. He's like
he's very incompetent, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
everyone
the thing.
he's like, it's almost like he's just bumbling around. And again, whether you think he should be savage or not, there's not been anything that I know of about Boba's character that ever made him seem incompetent, right? And I don't understand that part of the story unless he's just going to whip it into shape now as we move forward and in episodes 4 on. But that part of it to me has been very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, like even when Ming-Na Wen and Boba walk into the mayor's office with the gun, like she points to a gun on the side, and Boba says that's like a bit harsh, even though he's walking in with a rifle in his hand. So
the no disintegrations guy, okay, I won't. Thinking her sort of pseudo threatening with the she didn't even unholster it, right? And he's like, that's a little heavy-handed. He said, that's a little heavy-handed, don't you think? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, there's just a lot of things about the character that are strange, and that's why for me, maybe if they had written the story chronologically, right? Start with him getting out of the Sarlacc and just walk it forward.
Do the first half a backstory and the second half. Why is this 7 episodes?
Fine. Right.
Yeah, 7 episodes is a weird choice amount of episodes. You do it evenly, wouldn't you? If you're going to do a series, you do maybe like 6 or 8. If you're going to do like a mini series as such, you wouldn't just
whatever. That's besides the point. The point of it's this episode that I didn't get it. Like I I make jokes and all that shit, but I was hoping, the show would be good. The first 2 episodes, I was like, all right, fine, whatever. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just we're getting there. And then this one, I was like, what? Why is he so dumb? Why is he being tossed around in a diaper by a fucking Wookiee? Like, I don't understand what's going on right now. Why is he not dead? Who are these teenagers? It was just like, it was weird. I don't know.
And then I joke about the bathrobe, right? And I don't want to keep bringing it up, but I'm going to bring it up again. After he gets thrown around and everyone else is mixing it up in the throne room, he could have put on his gauntlets, if nothing else, and his helmet. He walks down still tying the sash on his fucking robe. I'm like, it makes him look cuckoo.
Don't worry about cussing. This was demonetized the second Nikki came in or something.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry. You should tell me. You should tell me.
I do not care about YouTube RPMs. Don't worry about it.
So for me, I'm like, you've just gotten into this huge fight by all intent. It looked like he should have died multiple times, right? He's already in the back tank, and now he's getting thrown up against pillars, and it looked like his back was broken or whatever. And he comes down barely, breathing heavily, tying up a rope, right? And Finnick puts him in the pit and all this. I'm thinking to myself, I just didn't get it. It seemed very ad hoc to me, and I just don't know. I just didn't get it.
I think I'm sorry. I just want to hit this because this is a super chat from Felicity too. Right in the beginning of the episode, they set the tone that just it upset me a little bit when I heard it. I'm not gonna lie. The dude who was sent to the basement after his stapler got taken walks in and says, "No one respects you," and I just
what?
When he met the gang
down in cold blood immediately, like, oh, you don't respect me? Well, bah! I guess I don't need you around anyway.
When he met the gang, she called him old man, and he said, "I'm Boba Fett," and she said, "We know who you are." And this theme has gone on and on and on. Every person Boba has encountered has clearly known who he is,
but they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit, and this is why I'm like. I don't know why the Hutts didn't just move into the palace. Right, when Boba walks out of that palace, he brings everyone with him except 88 and now some astromech droid that I don't even know where it came from. Even the eye thing is not there anymore, as far as I know. Right, so the Hutts have more people carrying them around than Boba has in his entire entourage.
Yeah,
and apparently a Rancor keeper and a fucking Rancor. The story doesn't make sense to me.
It's like they also introduced the Hutts as a villain, and then in the second episode, and then in the third episode, they say, "Oh, we're going back to Nahata. You can have Tatooine. Tatooine's a dust ball," and just give it up. They just give up straight away, and it's just why introduce this villain in episode 2 just to pull them away in episode 3.
Walk me through the beginning again. What happens? Like first, he gets the shit. I can't even differentiate the episodes. He goes to the mayor again, right? But he's gone.
Yeah, so he goes.
That's at the end of the episode.
Oh,
he gets attacked by the Nightwing assassins, captures one, takes it to the mayor. The mayor kills that assassin, and then they go to the spa.
Well, don't forget the weird secretary stuff that always occurs when he goes to see the mayor. That stuff just kind of.
It looks like a Disney theme park attendant, and he's like, "This way, get on."
I wish they would kill him already.
They're going to. So the one thing I can't appreciate is I know they're making us hate that guy so we can feel the sweet satisfaction when he just gets greased. And I hope he gets greased in the most horrible way.
Well, and speaking of killing people, right? I mean, and someone else said this, right? So I am taking someone else's thought, but it makes sense, right? The reason why we see masked Pike after Pike after Pike get off that Star Cruiser is because Disney needs a masked someone to die in this series.
That's exactly what I said.
It's so predictable.
And so I'm like, I see all these Pikes getting off the Star Cruiser, and I'm like, really, you're calling it a Star Cruiser? Let's put that to the side for a second.
Wait, did they say Star Cruiser?
Well, yes. That's the hotel. That's the hotel.
Well, the adaptive lady that I listen to says, the Star Cruiser is, Pikes after Pike comes off the Star Cruiser. I'm like, really? It's a Star Cruiser. But anyway, they're setting up the red shirts, to use a Star Trek analogy, right? They're setting up the red shirts of this series, right? For whatever battle.
Like if you believe they're the big bad, then you've got a storm coming.
Yeah, but the thing is with the big bad is like with these Disney Plus shows, they've done it with Kingpin in Hawkeye, they've done it with Kang in Loki. Like they leave it to the last episode of the series to put the final main villain. It's like, no, we want a villain throughout the series. Why is Daredevil such a good series? Because Kingpin is throughout the whole series playing opposite foil to Daredevil.
And those seasons had like what, 10, 12 episodes?
Yeah.
Gives you time to flesh that crap out though. That's
Felicity brings up. I know it's not the last time that we're gonna see BK, but I just felt like
that scene
at the
was
end
trash.
of the episode when they let BK go, it felt like when you do like a video game side quest and the NPC like runs off the side of the screen and then just like disappears. You look to the right and they're just gone. Like,
exit stage right.
Yeah, fade out.
It was so awkward. It's like, yeah, you can go. I'm like, okay.
And the Hutts apologized, right? When did do you think Jabba ever apologized? He apologized for two things in his life, right? Jack and shit, right? Jabba never apologized for anything, right? And two Hutts were there with the Rancor and a Keeper, and we're so sorry, Boba, and blah blah. And some people are saying it's a Trojan Rancor, and all these other things. And at this point, I'm like, I think you're giving them too much credit. If there's a Trojan Rancor here and there's something more nefarious going on,
yeah.
Again, this is why I'm like, if they would have done it chronologically or just hurried up and told us a little bit more, I think a lot of these criticisms probably wouldn't even be happening.
It's like they're telling you instead of showing you too, right? Like Boba says every single thing he's going to do. He asks every single question that they think you might have. He pays people's debt. Like, it's just so weird. It's like, show,
he even
don't
dropped
tell.
his own prices with the water. He went up to the water keeper and went, right, I want you to drop your prices so these kids can afford water. It's like, you're cutting your own revenue down. You're a crime boss. Why are you cutting your revenue down?
Also, I thought it was super weird. Maybe I'm the only person that caught this. That was that when Boba goes to talk to the street gang, Stapler guy shows up immediately.
Yeah, he pops out. He pops out.
Apparently, he just like hangs out with those kids in like the seedy parts of Tatooine. He just comes out and he's like, wait.
They were all standing outside his shop, right? They were standing outside his shop because they don't have enough money to make more sets. I don't know.
And he came out.
And that's something that didn't make sense to me. And that's something that didn't make sense to me is these kids got all these alterations that are supposed to be expensive, and they got the Power Ranger bikes that are expensive, but yet they can't afford water. What the fuck?
Mummy and Daddy paid for it.
It makes no sense.
That's the only answer I've got for it. Like,
they don't work. And Boba, did you catch the joke? Right there, he's like, they don't work, and Boba's like, but you're in the workers' district. And I'm thinking to myself, so is this supposed to be a treatise on people who don't work, who live in industrial places? I mean, what message were you trying to communicate, right? Just because they live in the workers' place, they should work?
They're just trying to communicate how bad things are over there, that there's no work and all that. I heard someone defend it, say they're out of worlders. I'm like, who cares? Like,
well, they're all from Naboo. They're senators' daughters and sons from Naboo, and that's why they have all the money for modifications and nice vehicles. But they're like, we're gonna go to Tatooine and hang out with the.
They're gonna try and give him an epic backstory. Just
they did explain.
Hold that Naboo thought.
Yeah, guaranteed. Daryl the Derelict with a 5 credit chat. Where's the struggle in the series other than Boba soaking in Bengay? Imagine all that Wookiee hair sticking to him. Yikes. Yeah, so while I disagree and agree, it has not been focused, has been my feel through this. It's been super disjointed. I feel like they're trying to do a lot. They're trying to shoehorn in a lot. And I think it's because they're going to have a laser-focused story from 4 through 7, but they've just been trying to shoehorn every possible thing in to make 4 through 7 to happen. That 1 through 3 have felt kind of weird. And what's weird is I didn't feel that way until we got done with episode 3. And then I look back on 1, 2, 3 and I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. Something's a little funky, but just for that, we got to kill the baby. Come on. Hey, We gotta kill the baby, man.
Thank you.
Do it.
Thank you, Daryl.
I was going to say about the Tuscans. Like, we focused a whole episode on the Tuscan Raiders, like setting it up, doing the Doom.
80% of that was a flashback. It was just so awkward. Like, while I was watching the episode for the first time, I'm like, this is a long ass flashback. What the fuck? Like, it's not like, you know, I didn't want to see it, but it also felt, I was like, waiting, are we going to go back to present day? What's going on?
Well, it's the thing with that flashback, though. You set up these Tuscan Raiders, do the whole Doom thing, like the Fremen and like Paul Atreides building up his army. Desert power with spice as well, and then you do the Lawrence of Arabia, which is Lawrence of Arabia is similar to Dune as well, with the train going past, and then episode 3 comes along. Oh, we'll just kill them all, just to make Boba cry. And
it felt a little unceremonious, right?
Yeah, and then that choir music comes in, and I'm like, that choir music doesn't suit this. Like,
it was like requiem. It was like recognizably requiem for something, right? They didn't just pick random choiry music, right? There was a reason for that. But I mean, do we, on this point, right, do we really think the Nikto gang, as we've seen them portrayed, was capable of slaughtering that entire tribe of Tuscans?
Well, people are saying that the Pikes slaughtered them and then sprayed the Nikto gang as
framed them, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was obvious from like the minute that the leader told him, oh yeah, we're paying them too, so that's got to be one of you. I thought that was a setup from the moment he said that. I'm like, okay, clearly nobody would just do it like that, just kill them. But
also, do you guys notice with the CGI is a little bit off, the effects for this show compared to Mando season 2? Like, a lot of it is very plasticky with its looks. It doesn't actually look quite as smooth. It's very jagged. Even the editing is crap, as we know, with the 2 Gamorrean guards that come out of the spar with them and then disappear in episode 1.
You're talking about the practical or the CGI?
The CGI, like ILM.
The CGI and the pacing.
I think ILM have been very lazy with their visual effects, and then I think with the editing as well, they've been very lazy with the editing and not like making it clean. Even like the green flashes when it goes into flashbacks, it's only on Rob Rodriguez's episodes, not on Seth Green's episode.
And the green was back, right? The green was back big time.
Yeah, green was back in 3. Yeah.
And I'm like, there's inconsistencies in the show.
And I think Hawks had said, I think there was a repeat shot in the Black Chrysanthemum fight. I could be wrong here, but I'm almost positive Hawks said there was a repeat shot too in the Black Chrysanthemum fight where he's running at him.
They keep using the same shot of Boba walking up to the mayor's office. It's the same shot they used in episode 2 and in episode 3. So they've been very like, I don't know if it's because of COVID.
It's like choppy.
They've been very like, they couldn't film that much. But
I wonder if maybe that's why. Maybe they had they didn't have enough or they had too much. That's my question. Is maybe they shot too much and they're like, oh man, what are we gonna do with all this stuff? Or they didn't. They didn't shoot enough, and they're trying to shoehorn elements in.
Yeah, they shot for 8 months, didn't they? Because that's what Tamir Morrison said. He said, I've been away for 8 months filming the Book of Boba Fett, where Obi-Wan...
He didn't, that's not exactly what he said, right? He said, I've been away for 8 months, and everyone then inserted that he's been filming for the Book of Boba Fett. But I think he's filmed scenes for Andor. I think he's filmed scenes for Kenobi, because he was recently quoted as saying...
Captain Rex.
They look, few of these folks look like me. There's Rex, there's Echo, there's Cody. You know, I'm happy for it. You know, more work and blah, 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 right? So, I mean, I do think he was with them for 8 months, but I think they said, let's get you knocked out for the entire time that you're here, for the extent that in Ahsoka, they probably need Rex for Ahsoka. And I think it's just economical, right, to have those scenes done, if at all possible, while he's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. And I do want to touch on this, Avi. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here before, but it brings up a good point. The issues that the fan base cried over the fillers in Mandalorian, so they're trying not to have fillers in this. I almost wonder if it's an over course correction. And I mean, we've talked about this in a couple different aspects of the show, that it might be an over course correction in some aspects. Because it seems like they have a lot of different elements that they're really trying to get in the amount of time that they have.
And one thing I heard recently that I actually did some homework on, that I didn't know, right,
You've done
was
homework, Matt.
apparently in Legends, right, there was a cancer-like sickness that manifested in Boba Fett
Yes.
years after he experienced the trauma in the Sarlacc, to the extent that he had to go and have it addressed. And I think Andor, it ended up killing him ultimately, right? And so there's a couple kinds of speculation now that's coming into this series. Number one, that's explaining the reason why all of a sudden it seems like he needs the Bacta more and more and more, because this is affecting him in a material way. And then secondarily, there'll be a part of this series that shows him attempting to get that fixed, and it has something to do with the reason why we see Kamino so many times and some other things, right, in regards to how they choose to help get him help, and or the Naboo. Something about before
but the thing
is going to come to bear to help him.
You think they're that clever and they're going to adopt all that?
I give Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau enough credit to piece that kind of stuff together. And the only reason why I'm saying it is because they've been so focused on him in the Bacta. And I know they're using that as an instrument for the past timeline. I get it. But this whole notional, he has the cancer or something, he needs a longer term solution. There's going to be something there, I think, that they're going to tie in, bringing other characters in and having other help for him, that's going to piece the cameo part of the story together in a way that I think will become clearer as we move on in this story, right? So I guess the question I want to ask is, if 4, 5, 6, and 7, or even 5, 6, and 7 are off the chain wonderful, does that redeem the series in totality, right? How much of the rest of it has to be wonderful before folks say, okay, it maybe it was a little bit haphazard and pedantic in the beginning, but
he needs to be smart in the next episode like this.
Yeah.
I need like a quick turnaround of him being like, all right, you go over there, you go over there. I'm going to kill this person. Enough of this bullshit. Like, that's exactly what it's going to take. And it's not going to happen.
He's eventually going to have to develop into a leader. If this show goes anywhere and he creates an organization, he's going to have to develop into a leader. He can't have Fennec whispering in his ear about how to do it the entire time.
The dinner is the next episode, right? With all the
dinner is in the next episode.
Because
it's confirmed. It's confirmed.
88 was talking about the different the different sections that he needs to be looking at and stuff like this. I want to touch on this really quick because I think this is an interesting point that, as a clone, is Boba breaking down as he gets older? The pit didn't help. I would say yes, but the problem is that he's unaltered, right? He's
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
And we've had rumors that we're going to have all these other clones that are altered that are going to be showing up in these shows. And if that's the case, Boba versus these clones that have been altered and have, the aging, these guys are going to be, we said Rex was at Endor, confirmed by Lucasfilm. He should have been in a wheelchair at that point. Alive, in a wheelchair.
In Ahsoka, yeah, he would be like in a wheelchair because at that point he will be, I think, 80. If you double his age, it'd be 40, but you double it.
Yeah,
it's half the age.
Maybe he was just there for moral support. Fucking knows.
And Rex has been there since the beginning. He was one of the first batches as well.
Got a seeing eye, Bantha.
Cody wasn't the first batch though. Cody was later on, as we know.
Yeah,
he wasn't there.
The fans aren't forcing Disney to do shit. Disney does whatever the fuck they want. Give me a break.
But they do. I mean, this is the thing. Look, I mean, they were talking about Ford coming back to deepfake as Han.
It's coming. Get ready.
This has been like, how Elon Musk warns about AI constantly? This has been my warning about constantly wanting the OT characters back. Do I want to see them? Yes. Is it good for Star Wars? I wonder.
Yeah, but I don't want to keep relying with these, like, to bring OG characters at the season finale to make the series good. That's the issue with Mando season 2. The only people remember it is the Luke moment at the end. If we're going to have the Book of Boba was going to be Han Solo at the end, and then maybe Rangers of the New Republic was supposed to be Leia at the end, and then all of them turn up in the final climactic event with seeing Luke, Leia, and Han together finally on screen with Mandalorian aspects. But I just don't want that to be always the catapult that, we're going to have a Luke Skywalker moment at the end of each series.
Well,
the series got to stand on their own.
Arlena, what do you think? Do you think that they're gonna keep doing the CGI stuff, or might as well just use what's his name, Alden for Han?
Alden Ehrenreich. But again, you can't have.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think. So, I have a theory because next episode is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
No, it's the Tangent. It's the Tangent fellow. Bryce Dallas Howard is the 5th episode.
I thought she was the 4th episode.
No, it's this. I forget her first name, but it's Tangent. It's the other person who's never directed Star Wars before.
Oh, okay.
Did I miss something about Rex getting his aging slowed?
No, that's something that they were going to talk about.
That'd be awfully convenient if that was the case.
Yeah,
that'd be a Filoni trick for sure.
Nick, what are you saying?
But I think
I'm saying with the Rex thing, that's something that people predict that's going to happen in Ahsoka is them trying to find a way to stop the aging happening with Rex.
That'd be dumb.
Okay. Pretty late for that, really.
What were you saying, Arlena?
Yeah, true.
So I think episode 6, Matt, if I'm correct, episode 6 is the one being directed by Dave Filoni, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I think that episode is going to be where we have something big. And this is my theory. I think either we're going to see Cad Bane in that episode, or they're going to get Mace Windu in that episode, or they're going to give us the big 3 together, which we didn't get in the sequels.
The big 3.
And I think that's, yeah.
I don't think the big 3 will be in Book of Boba. I think you either get Han or you get no one. I think
Han and Luke are responsible for Boba's dumbass going into the Sarlacc to begin with. If all is forgiven and forgotten, that's gonna really piss me off. Like, enough cucking of the Boba. Like, then I want to see him actually want to take revenge on something that had to do with himself. Like, fine, you want to make him a changed man, fight for people, respect and all that shit, whatever. But I want to see him fight for his own dignity, his own pride for once. Yeah,
but we know Disney can't do that. Disney, they can't. Look at Cruella. They can't. Or Loki, they made Loki a soppy character.
They're all victims.
He was an anti-hero. Yeah, it's all victim. And that's what they're doing with Boba, is making him a victim. He doesn't, he gets his ass whooped in every fight scene that we've seen him in. Even on the train, he got his ass whooped, and he had to have the female Tusken Raider save his ass.
But at least we have Danny Trejo.
Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the Rancor for a second.
I was going to ask. It was going to be my next topic of conversation was going to be, what do we like from Book of Boba Fett? And Nikki's, we got Danny Trejo, so.
I mean, paisano,
We also got Danny Trejo and Far Cry.
Mm-hmm. That didn't leave a mark everywhere.
That was actually one of my favorite parts of the game was Danny Trejo shows up in Far Cry and you have to defend him while he makes his famous al pastor tacos. It's like the funniest thing. You're in a firefight and he's like, I'm almost done with the tacos, man.
He's great. It's just funny seeing him there because it's like a meta thing, because it's like, oh my god, that's Danny, whatever, it's like, it was cool seeing him, whatever. I didn't the whatchamacallit, the Rancor is a different story, but it was cool. It's always cool to see him.
The Rancor's depressed, like I am with this show.
Oh my god, where the hell did that come from? The Rancor is depressed.
Rancors have always been deeply emotional creatures. Look at how Melakili
interacts. Okay, hold on. Talk to a normie, right? That their first impression of a Rancor is in the original trilogy, beasts. Okay, you go from that and then to this, they're gonna be like, what?
Where's Fox Holocrons? Do your homework.
Hold on. Right? Exactly. I understand the connection between the Rancor and the owner, whatever. I can get that. But everything else was just like, Boba was being Dr. Doolittle, was petting and he's like, can I ride him? He was like a little kid at the freaking pony stop. I'm like, okay.
Bad Batch with Moochie.
But there's the awesome call too, where he's like, I've ridden things 10 times as big as this.
The holiday special.
That's an awesome thing. Come on. You gotta love it.
The holiday special, George wanted to burn every single copy of that.
I know, that's why I love it.
It's so funny, the whole holiday specials on YouTube and no one's claimed it because it's like, who wants to claim it? Like,
it's that bad.
It's just out there. Yeah.
I can't wait till they
I'd
start
rather
calling
watch it
back
than
to
the
Caravan of
sequels.
Courage and Battle of Endor, and have Wicket talk.
Mhm.
All right, I want to hear something you liked. You've gotten 3 episodes. We've almost gotten 3 hours of freaking Book of Boba Fett. What have you liked?
I like the flashbacks. I think the flashbacks are cool. I'm thinking we get in the final episode we'll have Django turn up giving life lesson to young Boba.
I really like the sand. Sorry.
Oh no, that's what I was gonna say.
I really like the Sand People, the way they've done it. Is I like how they kind of. I also like how they explained kind of how they're not the same, shall we say, Sand People tribe as the ones who like attacked the Boonta Eve pod race.
Right.
So like there's like kind of like a split in the Tuscans where you have the Tuscan tribes who actively attack off-world settlements on Tatooine, and then you have the others who are simply just kind of trying to exist out here, basically. And I do really like how they've handled the tribe. It makes them feel a lot more like a culture than just some random people who live in the desert covered in rags who will kidnap and attack people at any whim.
Right. Yeah,
I
and
like
guess
that.
maybe
I like
I've
thinking that
held
they
on to that a
were
little bit.
randos.
It's so funny because everything Burke just mentioned about the Tuscan Raider storyline, I absolutely despised. And it's not that I'm a Tuscan Raider hater. It's that there was not a part of me that was looking for a humanization of the Sand People, right? Nor do I believe it's consistent with any of the writings George ever put forward about Sand People. And so for me,
if you could use the correct term of Tuscan Raiders,
I'm so sorry.
If
Yes.
there are different cultures,
I'm canceled now, right?
Oh my God.
But putting all that to the side, right? If I was to invest myself in that story to get to the 3rd episode and have them wiped out, it's like, to me, it was like a double fuck you. It was, I didn't want this in the first place. Then I had to endure it only to get fucked in the end because they bid it, right? And to me, I thought that was good that they actually did get wiped out. I know that sounds horrible, but I would rather see that than him marrying the female warrior, than Din coming back and them joining the tribes, than a lot of other things where I thought the story could go because they were so focused on it.
I took a deep breath out when I saw them burn to the ground. I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, same. I was like, wow, they did it. But no, there's a few left.
And I don't care that they did it off screen. I'm just glad that they did it, right? But again, it felt for me, it felt like the joke was on me, right? I had to watch the lizard up the nose. I had to watch all these other things. When for me, what they could have just done is said, Boba killed a Tuscan. That's how he got the cloak, that he took their staff, right? And he then went on about his business. And to me, that would have filled in as much of the story as we had to endure with this whole storyline that was then terminated.
But they had to fill, essentially 5 years, right?
But they've only filled not even 5 years yet, have they?
Was it with them for 5 years? I don't think that took 5 years.
That ties into my point. Like what you said about the whole, listen, if you guys haven't read the Kenobi book, I highly recommend it because it gives you like just enough of the Tuscans. And I didn't mind their portrayal too much here, but the problem is, again, is the 7-episode thing. Like if we had more episodes, I'd be like, sure, give me more lore, whatever. Whatever, like it's fine, but we're too much time on them.
And he wasn't with them 5 years, right? It almost appeared like he was with them months at the most, weeks.
I was thinking like a couple months, probably tops.
Well, my issue with the Tuscan Raiders was it should have paid off. And with them being killed, to me, that's not payoff. If they're going to make Boba a crime lord, then he should have used the Tusken Raiders as part of his complex, system to be out there in the sands doing his work for him and keeping shit straight. But they killed them all off. So how does any of this connect? It doesn't matter. They don't matter.
Arlena, I don't think that's true. I think this is going to play into the larger picture when it comes to the war with the Pikes. He's absolutely going to have pull with the Tusken Raiders. And this is where it's going to break it for me, was that I was fine if he was part of one particular band of Tusken Raiders that acted a certain way and it was different than other Tusken Raiders. But I think at the end of the show, he's going to wind up basically having a whole bunch of Tusken Raiders come up and back him up in this war against the Pikes because he was one of them.
Only if Din helps him, right? The Tuskens he was with made it a point around the fire to say they don't get along, right? They didn't talk to the other Tuskens. They were on their own, pseudo-ostracized or split, right? So unless somebody like Din, who clearly has a relationship with the other Tusken tribe, comes along and does something, those other folks aren't going to bother with Boba.
But Moff Nisman, I'm going to do the critical drinker. Don't you see? That's the point. We're not seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah,
this is Disney. He's going to draw them all together.
Stop.
That's what he's going to do. It's going to be a joining of the people.
Okay, but what the fuck is the deal with Tatooine and the goddamn sand people? Mando season 2, Book of Boba. You know damn well Kenobi we're going to get a ton of that shit too. What are they trying to do here? Are they trying to like remove the mystery of everything? That's the thing too. Like some of the things in Star Wars exist with
like
mystery.
The Tusken Raiders are just like the background pieces of Tatooine. That you can explore them in other media in sense of books and stuff. But when it comes to movies, they shouldn't be really focusing or TV shows on just a culture of people like just background pieces. Like we want a Boba Fett show. We don't want a Tusken Raider show. If I wanted a Tusken Raider show, I'd been screaming at Lucasfilm for the past 5 years. Can I have a Tusken Raider show?
I want to see Boba get thrown around in a freaking adult diaper by a freaking Wookiee. Like that shit was embarrassing. I have no problem
with that scene, bro. Black Chrysanthemum is the gnarliest.
He's great, but that's my point. Like, don't misunderstand me. He looks great. I like Black Chrysanthemum. Actually, I freaking hate the new comics, but I liked him as a character. But seeing Boba get tossed around, literally like a rag doll in his diapers, I was just like, "What's going on right now? Is this a real scene? Is this a nightmare?" I thought he was gonna wake up. No joke. I was watching it. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to wake up.
He had the jump on him. Dude was in a back to tank with no armor. Like I don't care how deadly you are. I don't care who you are. If a Wookiee pulls you, out of a back to tank in a diaper, like you're getting your ass whooped. I don't care who you are. If you're Obi-Wan Kenobi without your lightsaber, and Black Chrysanthemum pulls you out of a back to tank,
all that shit, you're dead. That's it. You're
the question I have is why didn't Boba station the Gamorreans around his quarters?
Did you say Gamorreans?
Oh my God, kick him.
What?
Oh my God.
Burke. He had something stuck in his teeth. Just move past it.
All right, whatever. Why he didn't have guards stationed in his corner?
Because he's a dumbass. That's my point.
But
like, they turned him into a dumbass. Like he doesn't think about things. He doesn't see ahead. He doesn't plan 2 steps forward. He voices his plans. He asks all the stupid ass questions. But I'm the crime lord. They gotta pay me. Well, no shit. Why are you saying it out loud? Just tell them, give me money or I'll kill you.
But guys, remember, he has 2 Gamorreans and an astromech. Already he said in passing to the astromech, go back on your rounds, right? So if he has 2 Gamorreans and they can't be everywhere at once. The palace is big, right? So they're probably wandering around. Who knows
big ass Wookiee get in there undetected?
Because he was a bounty hunter too. He worked for Jabba. Oh, you know what? Actually, he worked for Vader.
He was hired by Jabba. Jabba. Again, which the source material they seem to have ignored when later Boba and Black BK didn't seem to know each other from nobody. But allegedly,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
But allegedly, Jabba, when Vader came, right, and said, "I need 2 bounty hunters," right? Jabba said, "Here are 2 of my best ones." It was BK and it was Boba Fett, right? So it is plausible that BK had some knowledge of the palace.
And the palace is empty.
Yeah, there's nobody there. right?
But
But
what about
I
all
think,
those stupid ass teenagers too? They weren't. They came in
Well,
last
they were-
minute.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
they
yeah.
were out and about, right?
I just
They're
want to
freaking
know,
jacking
when
each
John
other
was
off.
writing the script for the show, did he not want how did he think of the Power Ranger group and not think of Boss, Dengar, IG-88? Like when you write in the Boba Fett
They'll
show,
be there. They'll be there.
I think they'll be there.
And they'll be killed too, because they like to bring the characters you love and kill them or beat them up.
I
And
mean,
put them
Boss
in
and
diapers.
Dengar were on the sail barge, so they probably got off with Max Rebo. And
Oh, so they survived too. We already know.
yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing I like about the show, because I never answered, is as freaking mundane as it is, I like how the Twi'leks look. They look great. They look realistic.
Nice. Yeah, I
Jennifer
like
Beals
They
looks
do.
great.
They do.
The
that was another
flashbacks to
thing
the
that got
prequels was great.
politicized that did not need to be politicized. People were saying that the Twi'leks were trans in the
No, that's
the
called
tones
continuity
on the-
error, because they're stupid asses and they don't
right
think
because
about
of the
that shit.
headdresses. But
Out of here.
I don't want to
Get
go into that.
outta here.
Is there
Look,
anything
I
else
was-
that
when I
anybody likes
saw
from the
that-
show?
When I saw
I
that,
like the
I was
music.
thrilled that we actually got a
Yeah, the music's good.
good-looking male
Love you.
Twi'lek.
I mean, I've been humming the theme tune, to be fair.
No, the music is great. It's like a Pirates of the Caribbean meets like Star Wars Western space, which
Yeah.
is like
Right.
fitting, because he's like, but he said
Yeah, I
he's
don't
an
like the
ex-bounty
music.
hunter. I don't know.
I've got to get going.
Yeah.
So
See you.
I'm just gonna say one thing, then I'm gonna click leave. And that one thing's just gonna be Kenobi.
Oh my god,
Wait.
you're the one that does the voices.
Burke,
Yes,
you
I'm
have to
doing
do
it.
it before you leave.
Yes, come on.
I'm not doing the scream
the
right
scream.
now.
Or say something
No.
else. Say
Do the
another
screen.
line
It
then.
hurts him. It hurts his voice.
It hurts the voice.
Okay, just do
and-
another line. Another line.
Let me find it. Fuck it. I'll just do the Maul and Kenobi reunion scene real quick.
Go for it. Go for it.
Jedi, I have been waiting for you. I'm not sure I've made your acquaintance. I am surprised you could have forgotten me so easily after I killed your master and you left me for dead on Naboo. It is you. You may have forgotten me, but I will never forget you. You could not imagine the depths I would go to stay alive, fueled by my singular hatred for you. That may be so, but I've defeated you before, and I will defeat you again. Don't be so certain. I like your new legs. They make you look taller.
Yay.
That's great. Next time we're getting the scream though.
Oh, that was great.
Next time I'll have my good mic. So yeah.
I'm in a hotel right
All right.
now.
Later.
I bet you a figure.
All right.
I will do it.
Good night.
All right. Goodbye.
So Nikki, a few minutes ago, you said in the next scene you wanted to see Boba snap to it and be super into, be smart.
Why are
and
the women on the
calculating
bottom, by the way? Just kidding. Go ahead.
and all of that
Right?
at the
Hello.
last supper table, right? I just don't see it happening, right there. 88's probably going to lead that meeting, right?
Right?
I
He's just gonna end up getting like duped again. He's gonna get cucked. They're gonna outsmart him.
he can't
He's
even
gonna-
understand part the out. The, he
Oh
can't
wait,
even understand
I'm the
some
crime
of them.
lord. They gotta listen to me.
When I hit AD, I just keep
I
getting.
thought the
ice
last
and
question
crap.
was there anything that you liked from the
Oh,
episode?
I
Oh,
liked the huts.
From the
Right?
episode.
Episodes.
Yeah, so I like the huts and kind of the way they've been portrayed. I don't know that I like the 360 and here, there, and everywhere gone, but I just like the hut part of it a lot.
What do you mean the 360 here, there, and every? Oh, how
Well,
they're,
it's like they
on
showed
Hutta
up and they were like,
here.
"We're here to do this," and then they're like,
Yeah.
"Nah, fam, forget it. I'm out of here," kind of a thing. So I mean, for me, that part of it, I found enjoyable, right? In regards to the rest of it, I've really been enjoying Finnick Shand, right?
Oh, okay, same thing.
I think the way that Ming Na portrays that character has been very, very good, and I think her character appears to be well written, right? And I don't want to be that I'm just going to say it, right? To me, she seems more of the primary character in this series than Boba does.
She's the boba.
She's playing the Godfather. Should I kill him now? Like, yo, your gift
she's
is leaving
more
here.
Boba than Boba.
Do you
She
think
has
they're
more
gonna,
balls than him.
do you
Also,
think
can
they're gonna
we?
kill Boba?
I might have to get Shapeshifter in on this one. And be like, it's morphin' time. Tusken, Jawa, Womp Rat, Bantha, Freight Dragon. Go, go, Boba Rangers. I need it.
Boo.
But I mean,
So-
even she's the one who ultimately got the best of BK, right? And everyone said, oh, they just cornered him. Well, be that as it may, she hit the button, she threw the knife, he fell down, right? And at every turn, she seems to have been the central driving
At
force
some point, she needs
behind
to
this.
backhand the shit out of him and be like, yo, where are your balls? Can you drop them? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Mhm.
Like, I can't keep just like having your back after every stupid ass decision you make. Like,
She's had the last word in every confrontation that they've had together, and that is a problem for me because it discredits Boba. And then when you have a guy come in and say nobody respects you, that's a problem. He's just. It seems like he's always
no
kind of.
disintegrations.
Yeah, he's kind of stumbling in at the end of it, like, oh, somebody handled it for me. Thank God. Like, I couldn't have done that myself. It's like,
And I get when they try to defend his soft actions by saying, he's a new man because of his experience with the Sand People and all the other stuff. But if anything, the Sand People were just as aggressive as him, or if not even more so. Like, if anything, it would make him, like, after what happened to them, now that we know, it would make him want to be more assertive and more like, using the skills he learned with them and just like standing your ground. If anything, he's a bitch now.
Mhm.
And I don't
I
know
don't
if
think
it's
he's
just.
a bitch.
Well, you know
I
what I
don't know
mean?
if
And this episode showed me a lot. I was like, okay, why do you have a jetpack? Why are you doing these things? I don't understand it.
But
could've
and I
used
also
a
have to.
jetpack in
I
the
also have
chase
to.
scene.
I also have to say, right, if the death of the Tuskens was supposed to be some big galvanizing experience for Boba, other than sitting there with almost a tear for a minute, he sure doesn't seem too broken up about it anymore. Right? I mean, it's never come up. I think he still has the gaffy stick, right? I think when he was being thrown around by BK, we saw it. Right? So, I mean, clearly he hasn't given all of it up, right? But he doesn't seem like somebody who's been devastated, right, by the loss of this tribe. So even that part of it to me is just very, very strange because he seems so nurturing, which never a word I thought I would use to describe Boba Fett.
No. You guys have seen Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you remember the episode where we see the Hound come back? He had been living with a group of villagers. He comes back and they're all slaughtered. What does he do? He picks up the axe and he goes and he kills everybody that killed everybody in that village.
Yep.
Mhm.
Come
Disney.
on. Exactly. Disney, where we cook your favorite characters.
All right. Closing statements.
Mhm.
I'm done with the show.
Oof, all right.
Done with the show.
Whoa.
I'm not
Whoa.
done with it. I
I'm
think
not done with it.
episode
Wow.
4 through 7, episode 4 better show me something good. I want to see the real Boba. I want the real Boba Fett to please stand up. I want this fake Boba out of here. I need to see some good shit happen. I need to see it. And hopefully this will be the episode. And I'm looking forward to the rest of it. And I'm going to watch the rest of it. But I hate what they've done in this last episode. I hated the last episode. I gave it 5 out of 10. And the first two, 7.5 and a 9. I liked them. I really liked the first two, but this episode was trash. And the slowest high-speed chase ever was just the icing on the cake for this one.
The Walmart rascal chase.
Yeah.
You didn't love that.
The Walmart scooter chase.
God. Oh, that
Risman,
was
what
so
are you
terrible.
thinking?
I was waiting.
Well, I haven't
Terrible.
been, the story hadn't been doing it for me in any of the episodes, right? So for me, the third episode was the most disappointing of the 3, albeit I didn't like any of them super well, right? But I'm still jazzed up for the rest of the series, right? After having seen it all so far and just thinking more about it, right? I don't think they're going to let it go out on the same train that it's come in on, so to speak, right? I really think, maybe I used a bad analogy there since there was a stupid train in the series, but I really think that as we close this out, They'll bring in some cool things. The story will make more sense. We'll look back at this and say, all right, it didn't start well, but it ended really, really well. And I don't think I just mean the last episode, right? I do think the story is going to pick up in an agreeable way. It just hurts me that we have the sequels like divide, and all this nonsense that's been going on for the last 3 weeks over how all this is shaken out. It seems so unnecessary that we would have to be back here again.
Yeah, easily avoidable for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Nikki. Actually, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first, and then you take it home because this whole thing was your idea.
Oh yeah.
I'm still hopeful for the last episodes. I know that they're gonna bring in a lot. What's hard for me is I feel like when you get somebody like Bobby Rod who hypes up a show so much and puts so much hype into it that it's all killer, no filler, so much awesome fan service. We're so excited, and they really build you up, and then you get something that doesn't land with the fans, doesn't land with a lot of fans. I know a lot of people didn't have problems with it. I know the majority of the people that I've spoken to have had an issue with the Go-Go Power Rangers speeders, which is funny because they haven't mentioned the characters. It's just the speeders, which shows you how important the aesthetic of Star Wars is. I'm gonna punch it out. I'm gonna keep staying up until midnight. I'm gonna keep doing the watch parties. I'm gonna judge it when it's over, but I think if we talk to people on the first 4 episodes of Mando and been like, how's Mando season 2? They're like, well, he's been going to planets and doing things. So
has he? Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what he did, for the first half of the season of Mando season 2, he wasn't really doing stuff. It was cool looking 100%, but I'm just hoping that they really deliver because they gave people a lot of ammo to dislike the show in that last episode. A lot of ammo. And I agree with a lot of the backlash right now.
So what exactly is the question that I'm answering?
Closing statements. What are you thinking about the show moving forward?
Shit, man. I mean, I had woken up for this one just for the fuck of it because I thought, the first 2 episodes were just to get you into the show, and I was really disappointed. But I think to get me back on board, like I said, show me Boba being assertive, please. And I don't mean he has to be a freaking murdering psychopath, stealing people's money and shit. Just I want to see him have some kind of competence and be smart, not vocalize his plans. Just be smart about it. I want to see him get one over these crime bosses, earn respect. No more kicking his ass, at least for one more freaking episode. Turn it around quick or else, I don't know, man. Show me it's worth being on Tatooine for another show. And that, Boba's a changed man for a good reason. Enough of this crap. That's where I'm at. But, good job, Tamora Morrison. You're trying your best.
Yeah, he's doing his best. I got a little bit of hope. I just wish we were in a little different headspace at this point right now, by this point in the show.
I'm still going to watch it, and I'm still going to hope to be wrong. I wanted to change my mind, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, well, somber note. But a beautiful night. I've been glad to talk to you guys. This is the first ever Squadrons chat we've ever had. So you guys brought the heat. Like I said, for the first one ever, I would never have anybody but the Chimera do this. Come on, I love you guys.
We're the best.
Good.
We're the spice.
Got to bring the spice.
Spice playing.
Thank you guys for coming on and spending your time. I appreciate all you guys being here. Is there anything anybody wants to plug? Are you guys doing anything fun or special?
No.
Not at the moment.
No?
Nope.
Okay. That's
tomorrow at 2.
We ain't no famous YouTubers except Arlena.
Tomorrow at 2 Central. The vac tube as always, tomorrow at 2 Central, 3 Pacific. I mean,
that's right.
Eastern.
3
Shit.
Eastern.
I have to try. Yeah, I gotta try to get my work done before then.
I've got a plug, just to plug quickly my Instagram. If you guys want to see any more my collectibles a bit more up and close, visit Lost Padawan IRL on Instagram, and you'll see them on there.
I follow the guy. He takes phenomenal pictures. Pictures of the collectibles.
I need to get a little bit more on the daily routine, but I wake up at night. When I wake up, it's dark, and when I go to bed, it's dark. So I haven't got the right lighting.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, take care. Have fun. I'm going to leave you with a little piece that I really adore. So take care. May the force be with you, and I will see you guys soon.
Just get ready for work. You see me happy work. You see me do me dirt. And so we put in work.
Why do we think you're technically